Hello, Super Sleuths. I'm Gumshu, and I'll be your deck detective. Deck Detective is a series in which every week I play and discuss a new deck. This week we're looking at Mathmech, the first real Power of the Elements powerhouse to hit the stage. This deck of mathematical entities in mecha form focuses around a series of Cyberse monsters that go into powerful Xyz and not so powerful Synchro monsters in an attempt to make a Cyberse archetype that isn't just link spam dot deck. This was largely a failed gimmick until Mathmech Circulars released out of nowhere to Master Duel in an update to the Singular Strike Overthrow Secret Pack. A card so powerful, it single-handedly made Mathmech the best deck in Master Duel. Yeah, the verdict for this deck isn't going to be much a surprise. Let's not wait any further, it's time for the deck list. Here's the deck list, and man, something about this deck list feels so nice to me. A compact, aesthetically pleasing set of engine ratios with plenty of space for staples is the hallmark of a good deck. Getting into the list, 3 Max C, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Ghost Spell, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Called By, 1 Crossout, 3 Peridden Droplet, and 3 Imperm for the staples. This is a really good point about the deck. It's very small, so you can fit a lot of flex cards in here to adapt to whatever meta you're playing in. So for the Mathmech cards, we're playing 3 Mathmech Circular. You can send a Mathmech monster, except itself, from your deck to the graveyard as cost. Special summon this card from your hand. Also, you can only attack with 1 monster for the rest of this turn. And then if a Mathmech monster is normal special summon to your field while you control this monster, you can add a Mathmech spell trap from your deck to your hand. The best card in the deck, the whole deck is revolving around searching and resolving this card for your big combo. We're playing 3 Mathmech Sigma. This is what you're dumping off Mathmech Circular if you don't already have access to it. If you control no monsters in the extra monster zone while this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extract for the rest of this turn except Cyberse monsters. And then if this card you control is treated as synchro material for a Mathmech monster, you can treat it as a non-tuner. That won't come up in this build, but if you're playing synchro monsters, it can come up. We're playing 3 because it is also just a generically good extender. So and also in some hands you want to open this so that you can have an easier time playing around Max C if you also open Circular. We're playing 3 Mathmech Diameter, the deck's normal summon. When this card is normal summoned, you can target 1 level 4 Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it cannot activate its effects. A Mathmech monster that was Synchro or Xyz summoned using this card on the field as material gains the following effect. Once per turn, during the turn this card is special summoned, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can negate that effect. So this is also played at 3, an amazing normal summon, and also gives a lot of power to your super factorial play. Just the stellar card, you really want to get access to it either by being able to normal summon it, or at worst, being able to put it in grave for a super factorial play. Also playing a Mathmech Addition and a Mathmech Subtraction, they can target a face-up monster on the field, lock you into Cyberse from the extra deck, and then summons themselves, and then Addition adds 1,000 attack, and Subtraction loses 1,000 attack. And then they're just once per turn Mathmech extenders. They come up occasionally, kind of nice to have. We're playing 2 Mathmech Spell Traps, a Mathmech Super Factorial. Target up to 3 Mathmech monsters in your graveyard with different names and activate one of these effects. Special summon, you can either Synchro summon with them or Xyz summon with them. Only activate 1 per turn. This is a big part of your turn 1 board. Makes power a very, very powerful Mathmech Xyz, which we'll get into. And then Mathmech Equation, target a Mathmech monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If you do, it gains 1,000 attack at this turn. Really helps with on turn 3 or even turn 2 going to Jammer plus access code lines. Very nice card to have. We're also playing 3 Signet Mining, which is to send a card from your hand to the graveyard, add a level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. It searches Circular or any of the other Cyberse monsters you want. And then 3 Small World. I'm not going to get into how this card works, but with this card, Link in for Flyer in deck, any monster in your deck equals any other monster in your deck. Speaking of which, this card is played as a Small World bridge. Again, look into Small World yourself if you want to understand more about how the card works, but if you happen to draw, it's a generic Link extender, so not too bad. So that does it for the main deck. Now the extra deck, Primathmech Lapilation. This is a big part of your end board. 3 level 4 monsters. If a Mathmech card you control be destroyed by card effect, you can detach 1 material from this card instead. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can detach up to 3 materials from it, then choose that many effects. You cannot choose the same effect twice and resolve them in the listed order, skipping any that were not chosen. Send 1 random card to your opponent's hand to the graveyard, send 1 monster your opponent controls to the graveyard, and send 1 spell trap your opponent controls to the graveyard. Played it one because you only have one Mathmech Super Factorial, and going and on a follow-up turn you're usually going for an access code line and not for another Laplation. But this card is incredibly good, and just flexing off my Royal here. This card with Super Factorial can go up to a +4, which is just insane. 2 Prime Mathmech Alimbertion, 2 plus level 4 monsters. You can tribute 1 monster, especially when 1 level 4 Mathmech monster from your hand or graveyard. If this card is Xyz7, you can detach 2 to 4 materials on this card, then activate the appropriate effect. Detaching 2, you add a Mathmech card from deck to hand. Level 3, you add a level 4 monster from your deck to your hand. And level 4, you add a spell trap from your deck to your hand. We're playing 2 because it's a very good Xyz monster for your searching your cards. It can search Extender, it can search Circular, it can search Super Factorial, it can search Equation, or just any card in your deck. Just a lovely, fantastic card for setting up your plays. A Link Disciple and a Link Devotee, these are important for combo lines. A Lingaribo, a Link 1 that can negate traps. Link 2 Cybers Wicked, very generic for our purposes, and also searches Diameter. Update Jammer makes, since Circular locks you into only attacking with 1 monster, being able to make your monster, your access code, attack twice for lethal is very important. That's what Update Jammer does. IP Masquerena, again, very important for your turn 1 board. Splash Mage helps go into Heat Soul lines if you draw a pretty bad hand, and also can help with link climbing for the crackback. Transcode Talker, again, very good at link climbing. A lot of times they'll be linking Update Jammer in another body into Transcode Talker, and then Transcode Talker summoning back the Update Jammer for your access code line. Decode Talker Heat Soul, this is kind of a backup plan if you draw a pretty bad hand and you need to go for a Splash Mage line. A Mekk-Knight Crusadia Avermax, if you don't want to go into an Appaloosa, this is another option for you to go make off your IP Masquerena. A lot of decks just don't have an out to this, so it's a very nice asshole big body to really sit on. An Appaloosa and an access code for fairly obvious reasons. You can go into this with IP Masquerena on your opponent's turn. Now that we've done the card by card, let's play some games. We'll play 2 games, one in which I win that I commentate over, and one in which I lose that I commentate over. The game is afoot. Let's get number crunching. This game shows off the rudimentary combo quite well. We open with Circular, and that's the main thing you should look for every game. We use Circular's effect in hand, dumping Sigma to use the effect, then Sigma Engrave effect to summon to the field, triggering Circular's effect to search a Mathmech spell trap, this time choosing Super Factorial. We overlay Circular and Sigma to summon Prime Mathmech Alimbertion, using its effect to search a Mathmech card, which eats an Ash Blossom. Ouch! The chain resolves. We don't have a way to stop the Ash Blossom. But, unfortunately for our opponent, we opened the Mathmech Diameter. We use Diameter's effect to summon back Circular, and then it's time for Link Shenanigans. We link away Circular for Link Disciple, then link away Diameter for Link Devotee, its effect locking us out of Link through your higher Link monsters. We Disciple effect, Tribute Devotee, drawing the 3rd Ghost Bell. Are you kidding me? We put it back, then Devotee effect to summon 2 tokens. We use one of the tokens with Disciple to summon Cybers Wicked, then use the other token with Alimbertion to summon IP Masquerena, triggering Wicked, banishing Alimbertion from graveyard to search Mathmech Diameter for follow-up. We set Super Factorial and pass to our opponent. They draw, and then they move to main phase, and activate Harpy's Feather Duster. Well, not ideal. The fact that we can chain it, and it's still chain Super Factorial, and it's still a hand rip, and a negate is crazy. We do just that, targeting Sigma, Diameter, and Circular to summon back 1, 2, 3, and make a Prime Mathmech Laplation. Chainlink 1 first, we have the Harpy's Duster, and then Chainlink 1 Laplation, detaching Circular to rip a card from hand, and Chainlink 2 Wicked, banishing Devotee from graveyard to search a Cybers Tuner. They chain Droplet, sending Nibiru, nice 6th card, using it to negate our Laplation. Chain resolves just fine. Wicked does successfully search a tuner, searching Sigma from deck. However, they only negate Laplation with Droplet. Our IP remains intact, and after Wicked searches a Sigma, on resolution we use IP to link away our monsters into a 3-material Appaloosa. With 3 negates against 2 cards in hand, they concede. In case you're wondering, they were playing Sword Soul Tenyi. We've solved an equation, but what happens when X is irrational? We're going second this time, and our opponent starts with Circular. Yep, it's a mirror match. You'll see a lot of these if you play this deck. We've opened Ghost Bell though, so I'm feeling pretty good. Circular dumps Sigma, and Sigma summoned back, prompting Circular to search Superfactorial. They overlay into Alimbertion, then use Alimbertion's effect, detaching 2 to search Mathmech Diameter, which they then normal summon to summon back Circular. The Alimbertion effect tribute itself to summon Sigma, then use Subtraction to summon out from hand. They link Diameter and Sigma into Splash Mage, which they use to summon back Diameter, and link into Heat Soul. Heat Soul effect to draw a card. Then they link the remaining 2 bodies into IP Masquerena. They then activate Link Bound, which is a weird choice, but it draws 2, so whatever. They set Superfactorial and pass. I draw Cosmic and decide to immediately activate it, not waiting for main phase, as they could IP into Appaloosa before Superfactorial is activated, negating my Ghost Bell if they think I have it. With this, I can be sure my Ghost Bell is live. They chain Superfactorial, and I successfully Ghost Bell it. Hooray! As you can see, this shows a major weakness of the Mathmech strategy. Ghost Bell is becoming more popular since Mathmech is becoming more popular, and Superfactorial just gets owned by Ghost Bell. We move to main 1, and then we activate Small World, which they have an Ash Blossom for, which sucks. This keeps us from searching Circular if we didn't have the Called By in hand. They then chain IP, and yeah, I think I can take an Appaloosa currently. We have a lot of extensions, so, you know, Appaloosa isn't too threat. It resolves, and they summon Abramax. Okay, listen. Full transparency, I wasn't playing Abramax before this game, and it was at this moment that I realized that I didn't have an IP Abramax out. My only hope was to make a 4-material Alimbertion to search Droplet, but I can't do that with my hand, and I wouldn't have the cards to beat their follow-up anyway. I do the Circular plus Sigma thing to search Equation, but I don't have another Mathmech engraved to summon with it. I go ahead and overlay into Alimbertion effect attaching 2 to search Addition, and then I pass turn. They draw, and then they activate Monster Reborn to summon my Sigma Engrave. Once they reveal the Circular, I concede, knowing I'm about to get Jammer plus Access Code OTK'd. We're back, and unsurprisingly, it is very good. It's so cool to see a card like Circular, which was overshadowed by the Sprite tier menace in the real world, get to shine in Master Duel. Releasing this card early was a special gift from Konami, and I hope this deck's fans appreciate the time they have with their savior. We've done our investigation, now let's get into the closing argument. Verdicts are the same as usual. Going by predicted expected ranking, Law-Abiding Nursing Home Resident is below Platinum, Harmless Delinquent is Platinum, Lone Wolf is low Diamond, while Public Enemy number 1 is Diamond 1. Now up for judgment, Mathmech. This deck has many positives. A 1-card combo is a good sign that a deck has potential. Getting to play 9 copies of that 1-card combo is incredible. It's hard to overstate just how good Circular is for the deck. It's genuinely one of the most broken cards I've ever seen, and just goes to show that if Konami is willing to make a deck good, they can. As stated previously, this deck can fit a lot of staples. You can tech against a lot of strategies that you're afraid of. Don't like Mathmech Mirrors? Play Ghost Bell and Droplet. Think Runic is a menace? Cosmic Cyclone and Evenly Matched are your friends. The freedom to tech for multiple matches is something that you can't do in a lot of decks, and is certainly a huge positive for consideration. Finally, alongside a powerful turn 1 board, this deck can OTK so easily. Access Code is an extremely powerful card, and Cybers has so many tools to help make it that you're almost always able to assemble lethal against your opponent. Of course, this deck isn't perfect. With a lot of its game plan centered around Superfactorial, the deck becomes a lot worse if your opponent can deal with that card. Ghost Bell is a huge blow to this deck, as well as cards like Droplet, which can negate Laplation. Even Called By or DD Crow on a targeted Diameter can make the board a lot worse. This deck has some pretty bad matchups into Floodgates. Cards like There Can Be Only One, Fulanderies and Impen, and Gozen Match can end the game pretty much immediately if you don't have an out for them. Finally, although you have a lot of ways to Circular, if you can't find Circular, the deck crumbles. I know not having starters makes you unable to start your plays is a weird critique, but with decks like Sword Soul Tenyi and sometimes Branded Despia, even if you couldn't find Moyi or Branded Fusion, in many cases you still had options. Here, those other options are fragile and limited, and usually result in either an OTK line that dies to 1 interruption, or making Heat Soul and Praying. All in all, despite its minor faults, it's undeniable this is a top deck, if not the top deck right now. It's a no-brainer verdict here. Mathmech is public enemy number 1. Thank you for watching. If you would like more guidance on how to make this deck work from people who have played the deck more than me, I highly recommend the Mathmech Discord server and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype repository, or the Mathmech channel and the Master Duel Meta Discord server. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing to me. Also comment below what you liked, what you think needs improvement, or tell me my list was garbage. Also, check me out on Twitter, where I follow other VTubers and Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, as well as post updates and my thoughts, and Twitch, where I stream Master Duel rank climbs, other Master Duel Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content, and other games. Also, if you would like to discuss my content or Yu-Gi-Oh! In general with other like-minded people, consider joining my Discord, linked in the description. Thank you, and have a good day.